This video is going to have a look at applying our simple interest calculations to a practical scenario. So before we have a look at the example, just remembering our formula that we use. So I equals PIN. So the amount of interest is going to equal to the principal times the interest rate times by the number of years that it is invested. Also remembering that this information can be displayed in the triangle if we're needing to calculate a formula to calculate the principal, the interest rate, or the number of years. So going now and having a look at our example of applying our simple interest calculation into a practical context. So Hamish borrows $14,900 to buy a used car. The bank is charging 9.8% interest per annum on a flat rate. So flat rate is another word for simple interest, and it's being charged over 60 months. So we want to calculate the total amount he must repay and then calculate his monthly repayment. So starting off with A, the total amount that he must repay, and the total amount he must repay is going to be the original $14,950 plus the interest that he's going to have to pay over that 5 years. So I'm going to calculate that by calculating the simple interest first. So PIN. So I don't know what the interest is going to be. The principal, the starting amount is $14,950. The interest rate is going to be 9.8%. And I want to divide that by 100 to put it into a decimal. So 0.098. And then N, they gave us 60 years. To convert that into the number of years, I divide that by 12. So that's going to be 5 years. So having that information, I can see that I want to calculate the interest amount. So I can use my standard formula of I equals PIN, substituting in. So 14,950 times by 0.098 times by 5. And that's going to equal to $7,325.50. So that's the amount of interest that he's going to have to repay over the 5 years. But the question is asking us for the total amount. So to find out the total amount, we add the principal in the interest amounts together. So 14,950 plus $7,325.50. So the total amount, by adding those two together, is $22,275.50. So that's the total amount of money that Hamish has to repay over the 5 years. So to answer part B, when it's asking us for the monthly repayment, we know the total that he has to repay, and he's going to be repaying that over 60 months, because that's the time period that we're given in the question. So to calculate the monthly repayment, it is going to be the total divided by the number of months. So that is going to be $22,275.50, and we're going to divide that by 60, which is going to calculate to be $493.35. So over the 5 years of the loan, Hamish is going to have to repay $22,275.50, and that will equate to a monthly repayment of $493.35. So that's an example of how we can be applying our simple interest calculations into a practical context.